All right. Welcome to Multifamily Strategy Live. Today will be a rather quick call, and thanks to your feedback, though I like the intro music, I got a new intro video coming in for everyone who doesn't like the intro music. I get so many negative remarks there. We'll just go ahead and axe that. However, today I'm going to be sharing something that I've been excited to shoot a video on. I haven't got around to filming a fully edited thing for it, so I figured this is a great place to have the discussion. Again, I'm going to rip through this today, but this is going to be some really tactical points I spent a lot of time thinking on. One of the most common questions I get is I run a real estate acquisition company that has hundreds and hundreds of units. Next week, we will be over 400 units. We are just about cleared to close. And looks like going under contract for the next 150. And this is going to be a whole portfolio of 20 unit, 50 units, 30 units, a couple of 18 unit buildings. We're going to be absolutely railing through some of the acquisition. So super excited to share that with you guys. Super excited to be rocking there. How do we run an acquisitions company, a property management company, and scale that? A sales and marketing company that is growing like crazy. I don't talk about it enough, but I have an amazing company that works specifically with like awesome mentors in their given spaces, not the online gurus, but the people who excel in the field, who are trying to create a community of mentorship. I have a company that's doing fantastically there. It has about 13 employees today, about to scale to 30. I have a resort called the Robin Hood Village Resort. And you're here watching Multifamily Strategy, which is about a 30 to 50 hour a week job. Mentoring, coaching, filming content, courses, speaking, podcasts. How do we put it all into one thing? If you have a 9 to 5 like I did, or for the CoStar Group forever, it's really hard to conceptualize. You hear multiple income streams and you're like, oh, I got to start all these companies, or I got to do a ton of different investments. How do you actually manage the time? How do you build a business? If you're sitting here trying to figure out how do I manage multiple full-time jobs and do them all at the same time, I'm going to share some rules and some strategies that have allowed me to do so. One, if you want to be a solopreneur, my buddy Dion, and I love Dion Talk Financial Freedom, great YouTube channel, great friend of mine. I believe he'll be the host of BPCon this year. Dion is a very, very interesting individual. He's done very, very well for himself. He is a solopreneur. He has scaled about as big as one would scale, doing it without partners. There are a bunch of conveniences to doing it without partners. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more comfortable. However, you need to be able to, if your goals are bigger than just like, hey, I want to have 16 units, or I want to just have base level financial freedom, which is awesome for most people. If you want to scale beyond that, or you want something that is bigger, you need to scale beyond yourself. So the first thing that I do when I'm choosing any adventure is I go, let's start with the end in mind. What do we want the end goal to be? The goal is not to have 1 million jobs. And the goal certainly is never for any entrepreneur to have just a whole bunch of income streams. If you're like, hey, the rich have a bunch of income streams, it's just how it ends up working out. As you get better and better at things, you need systems and processes. You end up meeting people and acquiring pieces to build a bigger and better engine. It's not that we're just investing in multiple categories or multiple assets. Everything is supposed to vertically integrate in a way that pushes you forward. So number one, start with the end in mind. If your goal is just to get to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month passive income, you should 99% of the time keep your day job, or find a day job that you find more stimulating, and work towards, in a steady manner, acquiring 1 to 2 multifamily properties per year until your passive income equals or is greater than your current job. Now, work is optional. Very, very simple method. Anyone can do it. Very basic. You don't need to get some crazy strategy to do that. You want to speed run it? Join Multifamily Strategy. We'll kick that to like 4 deals a year, but you get the gist. You can replace your income in average person 3 to 5 years is usually the rate that it takes if you really want to go after this and do a few deals a year. Not that hard. If you want to scale beyond that, if you're like, hey, I have ambitions, or I want to, for me, I wanted to retire my wife. And once I did that, I'm like, I want to see how far I can push myself. I look at this like a sport. As an athlete, How would we take this and make it the best that it can be? How do I work on this and make this my passion? If that's you have to set that goal and it's going to be beyond you. So you're like, okay, I can't just run 5 companies. I can't have 5 full-time jobs. No one can do that. What do you do next? You need to start finding people who are better than you at the things that you need to excel in. The first thing I needed was property management. I could not find a great property manager. I also think that there is money to be made. If you are, real estate acquisition takes like 15 minutes a day. So what do you do with the rest of the time? I want to be the best manager I can. I want to have some control over my systems. That was my answer. I also like to have the recurring income of, hey, let's actually expand a business. Business is a little easier and faster to get the cash flow rolling. So while I'm scaling up all these acquisitions, let's go ahead and create a job and create systems and processes that are going to be repeatable across the portfolio. If you want to do that, the first thing you do is you find someone who's very, very good at property management. You make them the head of property management. I use equity. There's many different structures you can use to incentivize people to do this, but you never want to be the most important person in any of your companies if you're doing multiple companies. Now, you might be the most important person in your organization. If it centers around you, I think you need to take ownership of everything that you have ownership of. But when you're hiring for PM, my PMs care more about PM than I do. Even I care about it a lot, but they are passionate to a different level. They understand leasing. They understand the legal. They understand how the tenants feel, how the owners that we represent feels. They run that ship, and I reward heavily for that. What do I get in return? I get the lion's share of the equity. By lion's share in this case, I mean 51 to 70% of the company. In property management today, it looks like a 51% stake in a property management company that does very, very well. We add about 200 units for third-party clients per year. I purchase about 200 units of my own. So the company supports 50% me and 50% the expansion of third-party clients. What you end up with, a company that runs extremely well with people who are very specialized, who are not me. I don't need to be the main guy there. I don't need to be the face of that company, but I have direct involvement. I can help with my systems, my hiring, my firing, not to mention, since I do have income, I can also throw income at it that the other partners can't. I can take brand, marketing, salesmanship, all the things that I want to do, and I leave the PM to the people who I appoint in that position. What you end up with is a lot of cash flow and a ton of equity in a company that does very well. Now, natural businesses that would spur out of this, maintenance. You can start either a sister company or you can put it within PM, but it is another business. You don't want to be your own head of maintenance. I do like the idea of, hey, if we're doing a bunch of contracts, a bunch of renovation, could I control the team and can I keep costs down? Can I come in and say, hey, on these buildings, we're going to charge a lower profit margin, say 15%. So we'll do everything at cost plus 15%. My renos just got less expensive. All of my partners make more money. All of my clients make more money. And I actually get paid a little bit for doing all of the work and coordination and having the teams to lower those costs and do a better job running our projects. This is what it looks like to build multiple income streams. The main rules are start with the end in mind and do not be the most important or the most skilled person in any company. Anytime you're trying to build someone to your skill level, you're automatically doing it wrong. You're going to take a ton of time. You're going to hire, you're going to try to train people in. I need people who are notably better than me. And I mean notably better than me in my orgs running the things that I do, which leads me to the biggest mistake. I have that hospitality. I always talk about this. It's not my main business. It doesn't support my other businesses. My other businesses have to support all of my lack of knowledge there. That business is really hard to run. As an entrepreneur, it's hard to run a resort when you don't have anyone on the team who's better than you at running resorts. You don't want to be the best in the world at running a resort, but you purchased that seller finance at a price where you have amazing terms, but you paid a little bit too much in price, which means very hard to get rid of it. I'm stuck with that job until I'm not stuck with that job. That is the only one that is super inefficient. It just takes time. It only drains resources. Now, it still makes money. It's still a profitable resort, and it's a beautiful resort. I love being at that property, and I use it for some of my events, but it does not push my businesses forward. And I have no captain of that ship. I can't bring in new people because, again, we won on terms only, not on price. So now we have these amazing terms. We have a price that makes it difficult. It just puts us in a position that's hard to work with. So outside of that, sales and marketing company, They help with my events. They help with the property management growth. They help with just straight up revenue. It's really fun to be able to run that. It also helps me promote and get media out so you can see videos like this on YouTube, on Instagram, on wherever you're watching. I have a marketing team that can build a community that is just a fantastic community within multifamily strategy of people who transact all the time. And I can get the right people in the group. I can build teams and I can help others do the same service because I already had to build the service. So the whole network and the whole strategy behind this multiple business thing is not going out saying I want to own a bunch of income streams. I want to own a bunch of business. It's simply saying, here is the most effective way for me to scale beyond myself. I need better people than me in every single position around me. And I want to spend the maximum amount of my time doing the things that I am best with. That is basically it. By the way, we have a couple of comments here, so it looks like we have a lot of people in Washington. Snohomish County. I haven't done any events in Snohomish in a little while. I've actually brokered some deals in Snohomish County back when I was a broker back in 2020, 2021. Snohomish is awesome. I do have a lot of mentees. Well, not a lot, but I have several mentees in the Everett area. The last deal that I did as a broker was actually in a place in Snohomish County called Lake Stevens. Beautiful house that I actually brokered for a friend. Only single family I've ever brokered in my entire life, actually. But yeah, really fun. Really fun. I'm in Washington often, though. Typically, because I have that resort, I'm at my resort, or I'm in Central Washington running our. I'm in Central Washington running our portfolio and renovations there. Updates from the field, by the way. Rocking the 9-unit renovation that is underway. 12-unit renovation almost completely done. We have the fiveplex has 1 unit left, almost renovated. So afraid of Washington, that triple creative finance deal, picking up a ton of steam. Hotel conversion in Moses Lake, in final lease up. So we're working with local housing authorities, Hope Source, and a few other groups to get that completely filled. And in Union, Washington, just recently, you guys are looking for a mobile home park, or not mobile home specifically, but RV park. I've completed that project. The septic is done. The laundry room is done. The clubhouse is done. Re-graveled, gone through, removed any tenants who we don't want there long term. I am officially going to be listing that. So if you happen to be watching this feed, you're looking for a property to own in Washington. We got the appraisal in for $1.5 million. We're going to be selling it for $1.2 million. It's not listed yet. You guys can reach out to Eric. I'll post on my Facebook page here a little bit later today. Eric's contact info. He moved brokerages to Compass, but Eric Bubel. If you guys are interested in that property, that one's going to come on market. I'm working currently on divesting from Mason County as we expand rapidly in Texas. And we're looking at Waco and Abilene and Mansfield, Texas, and of course, still expanding in Stephenville. So as I grow my business down here, I'm sunsetting some of my projects in Washington, but up there all the time. We'll be doing this a lot. From Lauren, I do see the chats. Lauren, good to see you. If anyone has any questions here to round out today, I know today was a super quick live. I'm going to be running a webinar here in just a little bit this afternoon, and then I am working on some super creative deals where I need to get some paperwork done, which is not my favorite to do. But yeah, if anyone has any other comments here, you guys are more than welcome to ask in the chat. If we don't have any questions for today, then we will go ahead and call it. But good to see everyone here. And those are the updates from the field. And again, a summary of today's main topic. If you want to figure out how to manage your time, manage more people, surround yourself with people who are way better than you at every single role. Do not be the person who runs the company. Do not be you can be the one who runs it, but don't be the one who drives the ship or is the bottleneck on every single one of your different companies. Keep the focus on the main thing, which is whatever it is you're best at. If you're great at business organization, if you're great at accounting, be the best at that. Surround yourself with people who are better at every other role. For me, I love negotiating. I love the sales process of buying and negotiating and underwriting real estate. So I spend most of my time sitting in the buying, selling, negotiating for real estate. That is always the goal. The rest of it, put people around you, leave ego out of it, and start the end in mind. Go, where do we actually want to end? For me, I think the end looks like a few thousand units in Texas. I know that sounds like a lot, but they wouldn't even put me on the map compared to some of the bigger players there. Consistently buying a few hundred units a year, managing the PM company to the best of my ability, and partnering with the right people to grow that in a sustainable way so that we are the best is never a word I want to use because it's too non-specific, but the highest quality property management company at the most reasonable price. We want to be able to come in and absolutely dominate the mid-size to small, large size multifamily properties in every single market that we serve. So being a systems heavy company that just does excellence on every single opportunity that we touch. That is where we're aimed. That is how I stack them. As far as days go, I found that just basic calendar blocking. Some people put a billion things on the calendar. I find that overwhelming. I just put on my calendar, here are my meetings on Monday with each of my department heads, and we'll have calendar blocking for each thing. I'm going to spend the same block of time every Tuesday specifically on property management. I'm going to spend the same block of time on multifamily strategy. I'm going to spend the same block of time, and I'll just block them out. So I have focused work that allows me to be flexible, but focused on one project at a time. If you can do that, you'll find that you can run 4, 5, 6 companies relatively effectively, fairly easily. Name of the Facebook page is Multifamily Strategy. You should be able to find it. It is a group. If you, it's a private group, but you can see it publicly. If you guys want to apply to that, I will add everyone who's in this to the Facebook page. But I will definitely be posting that deal there. I also recently posted the deal and the broker's contact information on Washington State Real Estate Investing, my friend John's page for a group called Wari. So you can also see it there. But yeah, if anyone's into investing in RV parks, this one absolutely dominates. We're listing for $1.2 million, appraisals in for $1.5 million. And before you ask, no, I'm not going to sell or finance it. My partner is, he just had a new baby and is doing an expansion to his house. So he is trying to get cashed out. I am trying to reinvest back into my business in Texas here. And I'm going to scale to a few more employees. I want to write the check to make my property management company absolutely huge. So that's the focus for me. Often an RV park in Washington to acquire, actually, potentially, 2 property management companies and their associated staff, who I love, in Dallas, Texas area. So that's what we have for today. Excellent seeing everyone. I know it's a little short today, but I'll see you all on the next episode.